All right, guys, welcome to Isaiah 38. This one should be very interesting. Every chapter has been incredible right now, so this should be no different. But this story, some of y'all may recognize as King Hezekiah's life is being extended in this chapter. Let's get right into it. I'm curious to see what he has to say. In those days, Hezekiah was sick and near death. And Isaiah the prophet, the son of Amos, went to him and said to him, "Thus says the Lord, set your house in order, for you shall die and not live." So his time has come. Verse 2, then Hezekiah turned his face toward the wall and prayed to the Lord and said, "Remember now, Lord, I pray, how I have walked before you in truth and with a loyal heart, and have done what is good in your sight." And Hezekiah wept bitterly. If Hezekiah knew he did the right thing, why did he weep? Why did he cry? Why did he cry for having done the good thing and knowing he's going to be with the Lord? Verse 4, and the word of the Lord came to Isaiah, saying, "Go and tell Hezekiah, thus says the Lord, the God of David your father, I have heard your prayer. I have seen your tears. Surely I will add to your days 15 years. So here is an instance where the day of a man's, we all have an appointed time for death. His day had come. And there may be a particular reason why he's weeping, but the Lord decided to have mercy on him and extend his life. So is this something that's possible? Yes. Can the Lord do that for people? Yes. There may be times where you're appointed to die, and at the last minute the Lord changes that situation. There are people all over the world throughout human history that this has happened to. So the Lord can have mercy and change things. Now, can we petition him for that? No. It's according to his will. But if there's something that can be changed by doing that, and it's something that's for the better, it's something that's going to bring God glory, well, sure, why wouldn't he do it? So you have an appointed time to die, but there's a possibility, depending on the situation, depending on what the Lord is doing, he could extend your life a little longer. Let's see why he did that to Hezekiah. Verse 6, I will deliver you and this city from the land of the king of Assyria, and I will defend this city. And this is the sign to you from the Lord, that the Lord will do this thing which he has spoken. Behold, see, not only did God make a promise, he's going to prove it. Behold, I will bring the shadow on the sundial, which has gone down with the sun on the sundial of Ahaz. That was their clock back then. It was usually out in the middle of a big open sunny area where no other shadows would touch it. The sundial of Ahaz, 10 degrees backward. So the sun returned 10 degrees on the dial by which it had gone down. So the sun came back up a little bit. Verse 9. So basically what the Lord did is he changed the day a little bit. He added some time to it. This is important if you're doing any studies on the calendars. There's multiple times in here where the Lord stopped the day for a while or changed the time for a while in order to do something, and that expressed into the changing of the calendars and the timing. Little detail, but it has big, big implications. Verse 9, this is the writing of Hezekiah, king of Judah, when he had been sick and had recovered from his sickness. I said, in the prime of my life I shall go to the gates of Sheol. I am deprived of the remainder of my years. I said, I shall not see Yah, the Lord, in the land of the living. This is Hezekiah speaking. In the land of the living. I shall observe man no more among the inhabitants of the world. I want to stop there for a minute and look at something he just said. Like I talked about this morning, here's a little detail that stands out. This is Hezekiah speaking. Verse 11 says, I said, I shall not see Yah, the Lord, in the land of the living. Why did he think he would see him in the land of the living? What are we watching for? Did they have an understanding concerning a particular event back then? I don't know. Kind of interesting, but that little statement jumps out. Caused you to wonder, what was he talking about there? I shall observe man no more among the inhabitants of the world. He's going to go to a different place. Now, at that time, there was a place called Abraham's bosom. They didn't go into actual Sheol, but it was a place adjacent to Sheol. Verse 12, my lifespan is gone, taken from me like a shepherd's tent. I have cut off my life like a weaver. He cuts me off from the loom. From day until night, you make an end of me. This is a lot of the same kind of talk Daniel used and David used. Verse 13, I have considered until morning, like a lion, so he breaks all my bones. From day until night, you make an end of me. Like a crane or a swallow, so I chattered. I mourned like a dove. My eyes fail from looking upward. O Lord, I am oppressed. Undertake for me. What shall I say? He has both spoken to me, and he himself has done it. He made a promise and kept it. I shall walk carefully all my years in the bitterness of my soul. O Lord, by these things men live, and in all these things is my life, is the life of my spirit. So you will restore me and make me live. He's repeating the promises of God back to him. This here links back to that other verse. It sounds to me like he had a certain understanding about a certain event, maybe. Kind of interesting. Verse 17, indeed, it was for my own peace that I had great bitterness. Listen very closely to the wording here. Indeed, it was for my own peace that I had great bitterness. But you have lovingly delivered my soul from the pit of corruption, for you have cast all my sins behind your back. Even back then, God was in the business of forgiving sins. For Sheol cannot thank you. Death cannot praise you. Those who go down to the pit cannot hope for your truth. The living man, he shall praise you, as I do this day. The Father shall make known your truth to the children. The Lord was ready to save me. Therefore, we will sing my songs with stringed instruments all the days of our life in the house of the Lord. Now I know where they got that title for that soap opera, Days of Our Lives. Verse 21, now Isaiah had said, let them take a lump of figs and apply it as a poultice on the boil, and he shall recover. And Hezekiah had said, what is the sign that I shall go up to the house of the Lord? See, whenever I read stuff like this makes me want to keep reading. And the way I read, I'll read the whole book. I won't stop until I read the whole book. But I'm trying to put it in bite-sized chunks for you guys. But this speech that he records here, that Hezekiah is speaking, is very interesting. And it is interlaced with a lot of referencing. And it seems like Hezekiah had some thoughts in his head about something a little different. Funny enough, when you go back to Job and read the book of Job, did you know Job was talking about Jesus? Sounds like Hezekiah was too, in a way. Maybe they knew some stuff back then we don't know about. Maybe there's some writings out there that we haven't been privy to that declare, or maybe they've been destroyed, where the old fathers, the old kings, had a much more detailed understanding of what was in the future than what we think. The arguments over certain subjects we have today, they may have fully understood back then as promises of God. I think it's interesting. I think it's very cool to read these things and go, what is he referring to here? This sounds like something I know about. Maybe that's why the New Testament was given in, because then the New Testament would be shunned by most people who weren't on God's side. But we would be embraced by those who were. Because there's a big argument that, the New Testament, you can't trust it. It was written by people who are trying to... Then why does the New Testament match the Old Testament? It doesn't make sense. Some people will only accept certain parts of the New Testament, not all of it. Oh no, that part was corrupted, but this part you can believe. They support each other. So, but it makes me wonder if the Lord put the New Testament there to help us out, because there was a lot of stuff back then that was going to be lost. And so, well, I'm going to give them the New Testament, and they'll see these references, and they'll go back and read it and go, wait, there it is. Hidden in plain sight. This is what I love about his word and how he does this. It is so incredible. The detail contained within simple speech. The Bible is simply complicated. But it sounds to me like Hezekiah was referencing some things we know about, things that maybe we're watching for. Maybe it was stuff that he was watching for down the road. Don't know. But it sure seems like it. A lot of interesting stuff there in Isaiah 38. So I wanted to get to this chapter. Now, tomorrow is going to be Isaiah 39, the Babylonian envoys. And this is going to get into a different, still Hezekiah, but it's going to get into a different subject. Because there's a lot involving Babylon. In fact, their most important book that they refer to is being the Talmud came from there. Now, there's a lot of history behind all that, and a lot of bad things have been done because of that book. But they hold very true to that book. Quite specifically, the groups that were causing all the problems and doing all the damage are today known by a very specific name. They even have a website, and a lot of people go to their website. And they have been working for a long, long time. And they're still working. You do a little bit of research into the Kabbalah, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's here in plain sight. It's here right in front of us. They're not hiding it. The people who are going to be the major instigators for most of the problems in the Bible are living today. Or, sorry, not the Bible, the tribulation are living today. The players of the game are active and ready. They're in place. The chessboard has been set. This is what makes me more encouraged for the rapture and to watch all the things that are happening, to see the promises of God. And we have front row seats to witness what he's going to do. And right at the moment that it's all going to start, or maybe just before, our tickets are going to get canceled. He's going to take us out. All y'all got to come over here. We got some box seats for you, but you ain't going to see nothing. You know what? That's cool with me. I'd rather just go up there and hang out anyway. We're going to have a whole lot more going on up there with the Lord than what's going to be happening down here anyway. So yeah, Hezekiah's got some cool stuff to say here. I really like this, and if you take the time to read through it more and just think about it, what is he saying here? The Lord will start to bring other verses into your mind, and for you to chase off and go look at, and you might find even more connections. It's pretty good. That's why I love it. That's why I'm doing Isaiah. Wonderful book, amazing book. My goal in this isn't to touch on every single thing that's there. My goal is to touch on a little bit and inspire you to go dig further. Because when you read the scriptures and learn about God, you learn about God. You learn about his attributes and his attitudes and his personality. And he has got an incredible, great personality. All right, that was Isaiah 38. I love you all very much. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video.